Is it true that women file for 80% of the divorces? I think the reason it happens is because the men are causing us pain. The men are the ones causing us pain, else we would not be divorcing. The women divorcing nowadays, they're not getting child support, they're not getting alimony. I do not know any women who got child support or alimony when they divorced. So the common argument that men make is, well, women are filing for divorce because they're just, never satisfied, and they divorce us and they take all of our money. That's an old trope. That's not what's happening anymore. Some of the women are even paying alimony to the men. But what's actually happening is that women are so distraught by these emotionally neglectful men who don't listen when the woman voices her concern and her pain. And after many years of pushing her aside and neglecting her, refusing to go to therapy, maybe cheating on her or running off, she's finally had enough. And in these cases, how many of these men say, but whoa, I want you back. What can I do to win you back? I'll go to therapy. I'll work on our issues. They're not saying that. They're not saying that because what's really happening is that these men are just not measuring up to a healthy relationship. Because if it were the woman not measuring up, the man would be the one filing for divorce. And that does happen. And I think men will generally file for divorce if the woman is mentally unstable, but maybe not even then. Like if she's an alcoholic, if she has borderline personality disorder, something like that. But they're willing to put up with a very bad relationship because they are very good at repressing their feelings. Unhealthy men are very good at repressing their feelings or not bringing up things that bother them because they're so afraid of conflict. It takes a great amount of courage to leave a relationship, to file for divorce and go on your own. It's scary and it takes courage. Of course, there are women who are like, I'm just tired of this guy, I'm bored with this guy, I need novelty. That goes on both sides. But in general, a woman has to be in a great deal of pain that the man ignores over many years. What kind of pain am I talking about? I'm not talking about, oh yeah, he's not buying me enough jewelry. I'm talking about emotional neglect, tuning out, stonewalling, disdain, contempt. If a man isn't aware of resentments he's built up and he's being passive aggressive, he's pushing her away, if he is neglecting her emotionally, that is eventually going to lead to a divorce. Now, men who are unhappy with their sex lives, they will say, I love my wife, there's not any sex happening, I need sex, so I will get my sexual needs met elsewhere, and then I can come back and be a good husband. That is extreme compartmentalization that I do not understand. I do not know if this is healthy or not, but that's what many men can do. I could not do that. I wanted that connection with my husband, not with someone else, because I like the emotion to be with my sex, and I didn't want to have how can I be in love with two men? That just seems like chaos and drama. So the men are not filing for divorce because the most reason that the men are unhappy, either the wife gained a lot of weight and is ugly now, or she's not having any sex with him and he can get that sex need met elsewhere, or he can just repress that urge the way that he represses all of his feelings, all of his anger, all of his contempt, everything is repressed. So this is just one more way of going through the road because he really doesn't want to be alone and he likes the comfort of home and he really doesn't want to leave it. Whereas for the woman, I think that the women are a good barometer of the relationship because they'll let you guys know if they're unhappy, you know, if they're bored, okay, or if they're neglected. And so that's why I think that most of the divorces are filed by women, because the men are being neglectful and they're not listening to us when we tell them. So if you're unhappy in your relationship, it's best to speak with healthy boundaries from an I place. I feel that we're disconnected. I miss how it used to be between us. Do you miss that too? What can I do to be a better wife? I noticed you're not as interested in me. What is going on? You have to be honest with your partner. If you're an unhealthy person, you're just going to be like reacting and criticizing, like, you never spend time with me, you're always gone, you never look at me anymore, you never want sex with me. You're going to be all angry, and that's a turn off, and it's not healthy and it's not helpful. So you have to use I statements, and then just see if your partner is actually interested in reconnecting, because they may be already way too checked out and way too disinterested. And if the man doesn't value you in the relationship, other than, oh yeah, this is my wife, she you know, she keeps the home, she's a good mom, she takes care of the kids, but dealing with her feelings, paying attention to her sexually, you know, doing things with her, I'm not really into that, I have my other stuff going on. Don't be surprised if one day she files for divorce. And don't worry, because it's unlikely you will ever have to pay alimony or child support, but it is likely that by the time she leaves you, it will only be because she has a broken heart. But I want to know what you think. Why 80% of divorces are filed by women? And again, I think it's because the men have hurt us so badly through their emotional neglect. But what do you think?